it's nice out. Oop, what's that? Hey, buddy, how's it going? What'd you say? Oh, yeah, Daddy loves you too. What's that? You want to smoke something? You know, I like how you think. I got a really good idea. Wait here. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. All right, we are going to smoke something. And this is what we're going to smoke. Look at that monster. One full, I don't know if I can get it all in there. Brisket. 18 pounds of prime brisket. Ooh. So, we've done corned beef before, which is actually smoking the flat, which is usually this part. And the thick end down here, which kind of wraps around, it pushes up on the underside, but pushes it up is actually the point. I've done them separately. I have never smoked an entire full brisket, so this will be a first good go. This thing is 18 pounds, 18.28 pounds. Got it from Costco. So we're gonna open this thing up. We're gonna do a little bit of trimming through the plastic. You can probably see. So some like the little bits of fat here, and there's a membrane that you can see. It's kind of grayish. They call it silver skin. So we're gonna try to get a bunch of that off. There's a hard fat cap here that we're gonna pull out. This is not going to do us any good. The big thing that we like is because this is prime, it's intermuscular fat. So like in between all these ribbons, and as you can see it through here, this is what's going to really make it juicy. So we're going to trim this up, square the edges all up, get rid of some of the hard stuff. And if I can flip this over, I'll show you the other side. Oh, God forbid. This is the side that's going to be up in the smoker. So there's good chunks of fat here and there, and the hard stuff we're definitely going to trim down. The fat stuff, or sometimes they call it the brown fat, which is softer, renders much easier. We'll trim it so we end up with anywhere between 1/8 to 3/8 of an inch of a fat cap on it. We really don't want to go too much less, but also don't want to go too much thicker, because then it'll be, yeah, you're just biting into a soft gob of fat. But even some of this we're going to trim out. See how it looks. So I will unwrap this thing, start getting it trimmed up, and I'll show you what it looks like all trimmed. We will put 2 probes in this thing. Probably by the looks of things, somewhere around up here in the thick area, we're going to get one. And I'm probably going to run another one down in here in the flat part of the brisket. The big important thing is when you're probing up in this area, you don't want the probe being in the fat. You got to keep it in the meat. You will get skewed numbers if you're here. Doing a full brisket, we're looking at anywhere from an hour to 90 minutes roughly per pound. So I'm going to shoot for about an hour a pound. So looking at roughly an 18-hour smoke with this Rude Dog. Going to treat it like how I normally do. We're going to do a slather with some brown mustard, garlic powder, onion powder, coarse black pepper, and then maybe a couple of the little seasonings on top. But yeah, that's really going to be about it. So let's get this thing opened, and I'll show you what it looks like. Here we are, trimmed, seasoned, rubbed, ready to rip. So I probably did pull off a few pounds of fat and some tissue, silver skin, all that good stuff. So yeah, this is gonna chill out here. I'm probably gonna give it another couple hours just to give it to room temp. And again, I'm probably gonna get a probe in here, probably one in this direction too. And 225, looking for 18 hours, nice and slow. The expectation is that this will probably hit a stall in that park of 145 to 170. Looking for internal temp of 165, which is then we'll pull it back off, wrap it up in peach butcher paper, put it back on, and keep the same temperature and just let it simmer until it hits 201, 203, that ballpark. And again, because we have a bit thicker on this side where the muscles overlap, the point and the brisket, way down here on the end, I expect it's probably going to get a little bit dry on me because it is pretty thin. I didn't trim it too much. Figure I can make some burnt ends out of that. But yeah, we'll get it fired in the smoker and rip it loose. All right, here we are, getting ready to turn this thing on. So the thick part I kind of put over in this area, which generally tends to be a little bit on the warmer side where the fire pot is. I'm going to get this thing lit. We'll get this turned on. I'm going to let it run its startup cycle with the meat in it, just because it generates so much more smoke. Gives it nice smoky flavor coating in there. And we're just going to let it go. We'll babysit it, check it every once in a while, but I'm definitely going to monitor the temperature with these two probes hanging out. And again, once we hit 165, I'll pull it out, bring it in just so I can give it another wrap, and then let it go to finishing. So we'll check back in on this a little bit later on. So here we are. We're about, I'm gonna say about 15 hours total is what it took to get to where we were with the right temps. This has actually been chilling for quite a while now too. It did finish sooner than I thought it was gonna. I'm gonna peel this top back so I can get the probes out and see if we can get a look. Sorry, I couldn't get a mid peek at it. It's too dark out. This has been going since 6 p.m. the night before, and it is 12:30 in the afternoon right now. Oh my word! We're gonna slice it. Nice bark on it. Got a nice wiggle to it. Yeah. Let's see where we get with this. So right about in here, we're gonna cut this thing in half. Ooh. Look at that. Look at that. Here we go. Get a couple slices and see what sliced up. Just to give you an idea. Here's a pretty thick slice. Yeah, that's done. Nice and tender and juicy. So about 15, 16 hours total. I'm going to say this was a success so far. This is really good. Hope you enjoy. Like, share, subscribe. Keep on the watch out for more. Enjoy, guys. Smoke on.